Hi everyone, Gabor here looking at some more plugins today. This plugin, the Laney Ironheart amp by Aurora. Now this was released recently by the lovely people at Laney, and this was also given to me by the lovely people at Laney, so this is what you would call a sponsored video. They didn't actually ask me to make a video of it, they just gave me a copy of it to see what my thoughts are, and I thought I'd make a video because I think it's quite good, so spoiler alert. Just recently Laney kind of re-released, revamped the whole Ironheart series. I believe you get this plugin with any purchase of the new Ironheart series amps, which are all made in the UK now. You can also buy it from Aurora DSP. Yeah, quite versatile, quite interesting plugin. So I thought today I'm just going to do sort of just a general overview of the plugin. If there's anything specifically in particular you want me to do, let me know in the comments below and see if I can do another video with it. So let's look at the plugin. You've got the Laney Ironheart amp. It looks just like the amp and it sounds just like the amp. Now, layout. Up here we've got the about thing, so you can click on that. It shows you what version it is and all that sort of stuff. You've got a save, delete. Up here you've got your presets, which are grouped in channels. And then you've got the user ones, artist ones, blah, blah, blah. I'm just on a default setting at the moment. The only thing I do is I turn output volume down a bit, because just the way my thing is set up, it's just a bit loud, but it's just to taste, to DAW or whatever you want to use. And this is a plugin version, but you can also use it as a standalone version, which has, I believe, a recording looping function in it. This is the plugin version. It's just easier for me to record videos with doing it like this. So yeah, if you want me to do a video with a full standalone version with that recording thing, let me know in the comments below. I'll see if I can do that. You've got undo and redo, you've got your license, you've got MIDI capabilities as well, which is if you want to use foot switches and stuff like that. Again, I can probably do a video on that. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do that. You've got a tuner. You can mute the output or not mute the output. You can change how many hertzes you've got. We're leaving it at 440 hertzes there for this. And if there's background noise, it just started raining quite heavily, so sorry about that. Now, you've got the actual amp. We'll get into all the amp controls in a second. Down here, you've got input gain. You've got a gate as well. You've got stomp, which is 2 pedals of theirs. I'm pretty sure we did. I'll leave it in the links below, in the description below. I'm pretty sure we did videos of the actual pedals of these 2 pedals. I'm 99% sure we did both of them. So the boost, tube screamerish, and drive, kind of 2 different types of pedals. You can turn pedals on and off with the switch here. You've got the amp. You've got a cabinet section, so they give you 2 cabinets, the GS 4x12 and LA 4x12, each with a bunch of microphones. Not a huge amount of stuff, but enough to give you different sounds and tones. Plus you can load your own custom IRs, which we might do later in the video as well. And you can change the position, the angles, the distance, all that sort of stuff. You can blend between the 2 cabinets, and they're both the same. So you've got, on both sides, you've got the same type of cabinets. And you've got effects, which is all after everything. So you've got an EQ, a limiter, compressor, delay, and reverb, which is sort of all after the amp. Now let's quickly look. And I should also say up here, you've got a performance and quality switch. The quality, we use a little bit more CPU. So if you have a lot of tracks, quite a CPU intensive song or something you're building, as you're working on it, have it on performance. When you're bouncing, rendering tracks, maybe put it onto quality. And yeah, it's raining quite heavily now. Amp. You've got basically up the top, you've got the lead channel. Down the bottom, you've got the clean channel, which the clean channel is split into 2, clean and rhythm. So you've got the switch here. If the green light's on, it goes to your rhythm, which is kind of a driven channel. Clean is the clean channel. As you can see, the EQ kind of remembers what's going on. So you can have different EQ settings for your clean and your rhythm. If you're on clean, you've got the volume here. Clean volume, the rhythm gain and rhythm volume only work on the rhythm channel, not the clean channel. EQ works on both. Up the top, you have the same EQ, and you've got a lead gain and lead volume. Now you also have a boost, which is in front of everything. So it's a clean boost going into the amp, so you can push the amp a little bit more. And then after everything, you have dynamics. With dynamics, you can kind of tighten up the sound a little bit, sort of from a looser to a more tighter bass response. You've got a tone control, overall tone control to brighten up or darken the sound a little bit, maybe depending on different guitars and stuff like that. You've got a reverb and you've got watts as well, which is kind of an interesting thing to have on a plugin, but you can kind of make it quieter, I guess. Yeah, and then you've got the on-off switch here. Now, both EQs also have a right-click kind of on the actual amps. It's a push-pull function where you can, it gives you, it changes the way the frequency, so it gives you treble boost and changes the way the treble frequencies sit. Kind of a mid boost and bass. It changes the frequencies basically of the EQ. And that's that. So let's have a quick listen to what it sounds like. Wait, let's actually set up first. So to begin with anyway, I'm going to be using this rather lovely blue Fender Aerodyne Special Telecaster. There's a full video for it up here, which is isn't that lovely? It's a lovely, lovely color, lovely blue, California blue. Now that goes straight into my Audient ID44 interface up the front here and then straight into Logic, so there's nothing else in between it. And with the plugin turned off, it sounds like this. So this is just guitar straight into computer, nothing else in between it. Now, this is the default setting. Like I said, the only thing I did was turn the output gain down ever so slightly because it is a bit hot the way it's set up for me. But if I turn it on, default sound is this. Just that sounds great. Now, gate. There you go. Gate works. And it's not a super hard gate. I think as you go up, it becomes a super hard gate, but it works really quite well. Now, this has got a pedal in front of it. If we turn the pedal off, or you can turn the whole pedal section off like that. Just kind of tightens it up, that sort of tube screamer kind of thing. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look on the amp. So we're currently on the lead channel. So let's turn the gain up and see what happens. So get kind of crunchy tones as well. So the mids are all the way down. Actually, let's push that. So it shifts the mids around a little bit. Let's add some mids to the. I mean, not add, because so it's basically you can add, and you've got the little thing always going above it, but you pretty much have in the middle it's at 0, and then you can cut or boost. Crank the gain a bit more again. Laney has a very distinct sound to it, and it to me it nails this sound. Then you've got the volume. Then we can maybe have a look while we're on I'm going to use some humbucker guitars and stuff later on as well, but it's a quick look at dynamics with it. So up here it's a bit flabbier. It sort of tightens it up, but makes it a bit more nasally as well. So it kind of focuses it a bit more, that dynamic. And then you can get sort of maybe some of that spiky top end. I mean, the boosting treble too. I find it EQ is super powerful on this. I mean, with that tone control at the end. Woo, that's maybe a bit much. You can really brighten. But I personally, I like sort of darker sounds and often bring the tone down and then turn the treble up. Gives you sort of that oomph. It has that kind of oomph to it. You can bring the watts down. So I guess that's sort of maybe like a volume control, but maybe it adds a bit of bottom end thumb. Oh, let's turn the output gain down a bit more. Like it might add a bit more of that sort of power amp weight. Whoa, that's a bit too bright, isn't it? Now let's check out, let's go from clean, let's go to rhythm, but let's start off with a clean sound, right? Now, the volume is all the way up, let's turn it down a bit. Let's turn, we'll turn effects on in a second. Stomp box or anything, that's all off. We can push that a bit. Let's check out a clean channel. So when you're on the clean channel, the EQ still works, but those two are not active, right? So let's add a little bit of the amp reverb. It's a nice clean sound. It stays very clean even if you push this. Slight breakup. But not a huge amount. Oh, is this still on? Turn the reverb up a bit. Now, if you want some more ambience for sort of your clean sounds, how about let's add some reverb. So with this, we can make the size nice and big. Bring the mix up a bit. Crunch. Let's add some delay to it. And I want analog. I mean, that sounds quite pretty to me. Let's turn these off again to be a little less ambient-y and turn the reverb down more. So now let's check out the clean channel with the boost in front of it. So if you add the boost, it instantly, even on 0, it's a different sort of sound when you do this, as opposed to going here and turning one of these on. We've got 3 different settings with 3 different colors. Just 3 different flavors of drives, and then you've got on here as well, same thing. Got like 1. That sounds pretty good. Then you go to the amp, we can add a little bit of that on top of it. I mean, it's like a lead sound that'll cut for sure. Turn the feedback down a little bit. I mean, it's quite that's a very mid-forward lead sort of sound. I mean, that's a clean channel, right? Now let's check out the rhythm channel. So we're still on the clean, technically on a clean, but we're on the rhythm channel part now. So now this has been disconnected, and now the rhythm gain and rhythm volume is what we're doing. Actually, let's turn the stomps off. can muck around with the EQ and I mean, with a telly, that sounds great, actually. Now, I mean, one of the things you can now do is you can go to the cabinet and you can change cabinets just to see, you know, give you different flavors. But both at the moment the LA 4x12. But let's go to the one side, to the GS 4x12. Much fizzier, the other one. I think that's better for more chugga-chugga stuff. This is better for less chugga-chugga stuff. Let's maybe change one of the mics. It's got tube. I said a Tube 47 was good. And then, I mean, let's maybe blend a bit more to that. I mean, that's a great rhythm guitar sound. Heavy rhythm guitar sound. You can even, I mean, gain it down a bit. That sounds really, really good. Now, and again, you can try different variations of speaker. I still think I prefer that one and a bit closer. To me, that's pretty cool. Now, let's try some custom IRs, right? So I've got to find, where's my IR? Here, IRs. And then I go into here. And let's do, so this is, for example, some I do a lot of, right? Or, I mean a lot. I do it when I use my two-note stuff there. I often use these Celestion IRs. So for example, on one side now, on this side, I have an Angle 4x12 Celestion IR. See, one of the things I've really quite like doing, and I should mention there's an affiliate link down below to Celestion. If you click on that link and buy any IRs, not just the ones I use, but any IRs from Celestion, you're helping out the show, so or the channel. So one thing I really like to do is I like to use a combination of a 4x12 and a 4x10. So here's a Celestion Greenback 4x10, and I think I used a low gain 421 and 121. So you've got the 4x12 on one side, and you've got the 4x10 on the other side. Which, it's actually surprising that the 4x10 almost gives you more, it's more bottom-ended. But to me, those two blended together with maybe a little bit more towards the 4x10. complement each other really well. So that's my opinion anyway. I mean, I think that sounds really good. And you can add some air, which is sort of fairly high-end frequencies. Now, IRDX, it's meant to give you a sort of more roomy sound. And works with sort of dynamics with the speaker. It doesn't do a huge amount to me, but it's there. I mean, I think that sounds pretty good. And then, I mean, you can go into here, you can turn EQ on. Maybe a little bit and gets rid of some of that really low end. Add some compression. I think that sounds pretty good. I mean, don't really need that. And you've got your delay. I think that sounds pretty good. Now let's try the same sound, but with a humbucker guitar. All right, so I'm going to now use this PureSalem guitar's Cardinal, which is a lovely guitar, and you can watch a full video on that up here. Now, this is more sort of PAF style pickups. They're not super high output. They're just middle of the range output humbuckers. And the same sound, exactly the same sound I had before. Something good. See, it's a bit darker than a telly. Maybe just put the tone up a bit. Just that does it. Let's add some boost. So much mids, there's a lot of mids there. Now let's see if we can do the thing that kind of Troop Screamer tighten up kind of sound. So let's try this one first. Let's try this one. That's more like it, this one. To the but can we get that same kind of sound by turning the dynamics? reverbing it a little bit too much. But I think that's a great sound. I mean, that's your rhythm sound, and then you've got your clean sound. And then we've got our lead sound. Turn some of this on, but let's maybe go digital. Maybe let's do a bit of a low pass filter. Sounds pretty cool. We could maybe let's add some of the stompiness to it again. Sounds pretty good. Now let's check out again. I mean, that was sort of a medium output humbucker guitar. Let's check out a low tuned guitar with high output pickups. So this is my Carvin CT6, or used to, well, would be now called Kiesel, but used to be called Carvin when I used to work for Carvin back in the days. California Calf Top CT6, great guitar. I call it Coca-Cola Burst because it kind of, when the sun shines on it, it looks like, anyway, well, not burst, but quilt, with some Fishman Fluence modern pickups in it. And this, same sound again, sounds like this. Oh, and it's in a drop C tune. Now, this has got much higher output to guitar, so I've got to turn the input gain down because it was peaking the input, so we just got to keep an eye on that. Let's turn the effects off. But actually that had the EQ too, didn't it? So let's turn that. Tone can go up a bit. The gate works pretty good, maybe up a little bit. reboost is a bit much. That's pretty good. Let's go back to the rhythm channel. Oh, so it's a clean now. Maybe turn the input down a bit more. So we're on a clean channel, rhythm channel. I think that sounds good. That's 3 really good usable channels. I mean, we can change the cab back to these ones. I actually quite like those. I think that sounds really good. Let's now just quick. Oh, then I mean, if you wanna save that, you click save, and you call it, I don't know, Gabor's rhythm. Oh, that's the. That was just the thing. And save. And now it's here in rhythm under user, Gabor's rhythm. So you can save these presets in there. But now, what if we go, let's try some, while I've got the chugga chugga guitar, let's try some rhythm artists. I probably don't know any of these people. I don't know, Jack T, Rhythm 1. Whoa! But let's turn it output gain down a bit again. Oh, that goes back to default. Okay, hang on. I think, to be totally honest, default sounds great. Anyway, I mean, I could go on for hours. I think it's a pretty cool sounding plugin all up. You can get some really versatile, interesting sounds. It has that Laney sound. It has a great feel as well. To me, it really feels... It feels like an... I mean, this stuff is getting better and better and better, in my opinion, in terms of how it interacts with guitars, how it feels when you play. I mean, to me, always, whenever I use it in plug-in form, these things, there's no, I can't feel any latency. But again, that's just me. Yeah, I think all up, it's a really cool plugin. Lots of sounds, lots of interesting things. It has its own sort of unique Laney character. And I have played the amps before, and to me, it does sound pretty much exactly like these amps. So, my 2 cents anyway. So I think check it out, because I think for not that much money, you're getting something really, really good. And if you're getting one of these amps anyway, you get the plugin for recording. That makes life so much easier. So yeah, so big thank you once again to amazing people at Laney for always being awesome. And if there's anything in particular you want me to do with this, or anything other Laney related, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best. And other than that, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.